I carried her words with me for years. Haven't you done that before? Carried the words that someone gave you months or even years ago, forgetting about the fact that we have the ability to put them down? We all have people that doubt us, that give us insecurities that we never asked for, that limit our potential, that limit our progress, that say you can never build that kind of business, you've never been that consistent, so why would you be today? And the challenge is we believe them. And it isn't our fault. The challenge isn't them, it's us. Here's why confidence is so hard for so many, because we have a brain that's working against us. Turns out 80% of our thoughts every single day are negative. 95% are repeated from yesterday. Our brains have a negativity bias. They are wired to look for what's wrong, and where's the first place they look? Us. The past 6 months, how good of a parent we've been, how good of performance we've had. See, for every one positive thought you have, you statistically have 4 negative ones. Which is why sometimes, I don't know if you've ever had this, it can feel like you are crushing it on a Monday, but then feel out of gas by Tuesday. Did you know 70% of people lack the confidence to advance to the next level of their career or their business? The majority of people feel stuck. And it isn't because they don't have goals, it's because they lack belief in their ability to reach them. The first step in changing ourselves, in changing our business, is having the belief that we can be that new person. But somewhere along the way, we lose the confidence that we can change, that we can be that version of ourselves, that we can reach that milestone. Which is why today, in our little bit of time together, I want to share really a few core strategies for how do we get that confidence back to break through to that next level. Because how many of you have had a good time over the past few days here? And how many, I've felt it backstage, your energy in here is palpable. You can feel it. But it's easy to feel good here. It's harder when you gotta show up after 5 or 10 rejections and you have that thought in your mind of like, I don't know if this is for me. It's easy here. So yes, I want to share some ideas, but I want you to see them through the lens of how do I bring this home and implement it into my business, into my life. How many of you have sensed a little low energy out there in the world these days? How many of you sense that? Okay, the majority of the rest of you are just too tired to raise your hands. And the challenge is, when that low energy is you, when it's me, we can kind of have this moment where we think, I used to be so locked in. I had so much drive at the beginning. I was so excited about this opportunity from the jump, but then I got to a certain level, I got to a certain age, things got complex, and I lost some of that energy for life. And I've run into so many extraordinary people that are at the top of their game that have a level 10 ambition and a level 2 energy and wonder why it's not working. I heard this once and I loved it. Most people don't go for another level because they're too tired at this one. In order to show up as our best, it starts by giving energy to the goals that we have, even on the hard days. Here's what I've realized. We make the way that we feel or the energy we bring to the moment conditional. Only if things are going well. Only if I'm hitting my targets. Only if I feel like my business is growing year over year at the rate that I'd like to. And we wait for these moments of enthusiasm as opposed to creating those moments ourselves. And then what makes this way harder is, have you noticed how we're living in a time where people bond over being tired? Let me take a temperature check of the room. How many of you, over the past 7 days, have had someone try to bond with you over fatigue, stress, anxiety, worry, complaint? Raise your hand. Keep your hand up. Look around the room. If you're not raising your hand, I love you, but you're the problem. Our culture is dominated by complaint, isn't it? So a question we need to ask is, are we going to buy into the current narrative or have the courage to create a new one? Because people will take every opportunity to bond with you over what's wrong. And then great people will turn themselves down to meet someone where they are when the level that they're at is mediocre and we don't realize it. We have two choices. You can either meet the moments in life with exhaustion or enthusiasm. Which do you most often choose? You can either meet the moments in life with self-doubt or self-confidence, with uncertainty or conviction. But sometimes, I hear this all the time, Juan, that's just who I am. Tired, I'm always tired. Stressed, I'm always stressed. That's just who I am, and my response is, does it need to be? Have we considered that who we are today may need to change in order to get to where we'd like to be? See, confidence starts by giving energy to change. Every conversation you have, every interaction you have with a potential customer is a mirror, not a window. Meaning the energy you put out into the world is going to come right back to you. So a question we need to ask is, am I putting out the kind of energy that is representative of my best? John Maxwell's 21 laws of leadership, one of them is the law of magnetism, which suggests that you attract who you are, not what you want. We've got to be responsible for the energy we bring into the room, even outside of this room, because that's what people meet first. Courage is not a destination you reach. It's a muscle you train. Here's the challenge for everyone in this room. You're already successful. You already go the extra mile. You already plan the trip to Vegas. You already do the most, which can be the most dangerous thing in the world, because you can get to this moment where you think, I'm good. I've made it this far. I'm doing great. And then I see extraordinary people actually downshift their drive. And then they coast. They stop training that muscle. They stop doing what they did at the beginning. You know, we have that dream. We have that next level. We have that thing that we want to pursue. Part of us thinks that we can pull it off, but we see it from a distance. It looks scary. We hesitate, and then we sit on the sidelines waiting for a moment we'll have more in us. See, most people wait to feel courageous, so they miss all the growth that happens along the way. They say, I'll do it once I feel prepared. Once the kids are out of the house. Once I have more time. Ha ha. And then that moment never comes. And we push our growth into the future and delay the person that we could become. How many of you have seen that software update available notification? What do? You hit that drop down and click remind me. And then do we end up doing it? No. What's the result? Our computer starts to slow down. And then the crazy thing is, we blame the computer. When in reality, it was our failure to take the time to update and to change. See, some of you are running Windows 99 and wonder why you feel off. We can't keep waiting. You cannot wait for the fear to disappear, for you to feel comfortable before you go for it. It's actually about building a better relationship with what you're afraid of. And the research backs this up. They literally did brain scans that found fear and courage coexist. They're one and the same. In other words, confidence is being bold enough to say, I'm not ready. Maybe I will fail. I'm not sure if I can make that happen, and going for it anyways. That's how we become our best. Confident people Instead of running away from challenges, they run toward them. And here's the distinction. Instead of seeing self-doubt as a sign to stop, they see it as a signal to grow. Historically, though, the advice that we've been given is to step outside of your comfort zone. The challenge with that is what psychologists have recently found is when you step outside of your comfort zone, you actually step into the fear zone. In order to handle the complexity, the challenge, the change of today, we've got to move beyond fear into action. That is outside of what we believe to be possible. Judgment like that doesn't really go away. It just takes on a new shape, doesn't it? Starts with our family, and then it turns into our friends. And then the world at large. So then the strategy for confidence ultimately becomes what? I'll just fake it till I make it. The only problem with that is that it isn't authentic and it creates imposter syndrome because we bring the version of ourselves we think other people want. We bring the version of ourselves we think the moment requires. See, I don't think we should fake it till we make it. I think we should work on it until we become it. Which, by the way, is much easier said than done because of an operating system running in the background for us all called the spotlight effect. This is a psychological phenomenon where we think people are thinking of us all of the time. So what is this a forcing mechanism for? We people please, hoping not to disappoint anybody. But then, what that does is it actually ties our confidence to external validation, which, by the way, makes it very easy to tear down. Or it makes it feel like our lives are an audition. How many of you have young kids under the age of 16? Hear me. The reason we are seeing the lowest levels of confidence in history in that age group this year is because so much of their self-esteem is tied up in external validation. That when the coach goes away, when the teacher goes away, when the parent goes away, so does their self-esteem. You layer on top of that the fact that one criticism weighs far more than 10 compliments. They cannot hear the praise you give them when all they're focusing on is the problem. And this doesn't go away. I was with the SVP of a Fortune 100 company a few months ago. And she said, Juan, I was just promoted at this meeting. Everyone in that room now reports to me, and I have no idea why. I don't believe I should have been selected. I don't think I should be here. I have no idea what I'm doing. Why'd she feel that way? Because we feel like people are thinking of us all of the time. I absolutely love this quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. You wouldn't worry so much about what others think of you if you realized how seldom they do. Don't you love that? I'm here to remind you, you are doing far better than you give yourself credit for. And that you don't need to strive for perfect. You can strive for better. Confidence is not about striving to have it all together. It's about obsessing about your own growth. See, confidence actually isn't found in the achievement of goals. It's found in the pursuit of them. And so here's what I want you to focus on. Here's what I want you to think about as you leave today, finding your 1% better today. Which doesn't seem like much. But here's the thing. When you get 1% better a day, when you tap into that growth mindset, in a year, you're 37 times better. So what does 1% better look like for you? Great ideas are not enough. Great ideas require the confidence to take action even before you feel ready. So I want you to think, what is that action going to be for you? What is that shift that you're going to compound your own growth of, yeah, I'm going to start my day with a little more intention. Maybe your 1% is I want to be a little happier. Maybe your 1% is I don't want to let things get to me so easily. Maybe your 1% is I want to trust more because I know to be able to build my team, I'm going to need to. Friends, I believe we're 1% away from the business we want, from the body we want, from the joy that we want, from the family we want. But it takes deciding what it is and then actioning it into our lives. And that is what so many people do. They give up right before something was going to take off. Right before it was going to work out. And maybe in some way you are in that moment of discouragement now. And maybe you came to convention for that shot in the arm, but in the back of your mind you're still thinking of that thing that you're hesitating whether I could go for that or not. I'm here to remind us all that there is more in us. That we have another gear that you can shift into, and the only way to solidify failure is by giving up, by letting it go. So many people do. That's probably for other people. No, I can never build to that level. That's just not for me. I should probably focus on my strengths because that's a weakness. Or we can decide that today is a demarcation line where I understand how I have been from January to July, but from July to December, I'm going to be different. I'm going to operate at a higher level of vibrancy, yes, for myself, but also for my family. I'm going to do something and not show up in complaint. I'm going to show up in my abundance, and it's going to show in my results. That, my friends, is our ultimate opportunity. To invest in the confidence of the people in our lives, to see something in them that they can't yet see in themselves. Someone needs you to believe in them, to encourage them. You can be the reason that they keep going today. A Harvard psychologist developed a theory called the Pygmalion effect, which suggests that the expectations others hold of us change the level at which we perform, which literally means your belief in someone can change what they're capable of. So I invite you today to raise the bar of belief. Believe in others deeply. Believe in this organization. Believe in yourself and choose the positive perspective. Optimism isn't naive. It is the fuel to achieve our most daring goals. Sure, there's a lot to be afraid of. AI, how fast things are changing, what is coming on the horizon. But the future does not need to be scary. It can be exciting. Stop looking for problems and start focusing on possibility, because I believe the world belongs to those who wake up believing that tomorrow will be great. Here's a mindset I want to leave you with. Let's find out. I don't think any of us have an idea of what we're capable of. So let's find out. You don't know if this year can be the best year you have ever had. So let's find out what happens when you go for it. And say that this day is going to be a demarcation line where from here on out, I'm going to decide to be different, yes, so that I can achieve my biggest goals, but also so that you can inspire the people in your life to go for theirs. Y'all, that is about my time. Thank you so much for having me. Love you guys. Thank you. Thank y'all so much.